Hello, welcome back to another fantasy football video. I hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Here with another video ahead of the FPL 21-22 season. These are going to be dropping every single night at 9 p.m. Today, we're going to be taking a look at premium defenders, kind of discussing through them, which ones I think are going to be the ones to go for this season. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoy this kind of content, and well, let's get straight on into this one. So I guess the first thing to mention is for premium, I've kind of cut the price down to about 5.5 million and above. I feel like that's just about premium enough. Anything above that is definitely a premium. So the first player we are looking at today is Luca Dean. Obviously, Everton having a very, very good start to the season. Not the best side defensively last season. As we can see, they picked up 12 clean sheets, which was about average, maybe just above average in the pack. They have a below average expected goals against of 1.63. However, Luca Dean picked up 9 attacking returns last season. All of them were assists. He had the most assists of any defensive player last season. And yeah, just absolutely smashed it. I think he also will be one of the players to kind of really benefit from a kind of Rafa Benitez style system. Apparently, he likes to play like a 3-5-2 or even a 4-1-4-1, where Luca Dean probably will end up playing on the left mid position. As we can see, Luca Dean and Everton have really, really good fixtures to start with. Obviously, well, with Dean, we are looking at clean sheet potential as well against Leeds. Don't necessarily expect it against Southampton, potentially Brighton and Burnley. We're more likely to see clean sheets, and what we really want to see from Dean is him getting the assist, getting the 3 bonus points, and the clean sheet. That would be absolutely ideal, and that is really what's going to send us up the leaderboard. With Dean, he's an interesting price, coming at 5.5 million, as he got the exact same amount of points as last season and decided to keep him at 6 million last season. But this season could seemingly dropping him to 5.5 million, and for that value I think he's an absolutely cracking option. And for me, I think Dean is going straight into my team, especially with the fixtures that Everton do have. Coming at 5.5 million, there's less kind of pressure on him getting returns week in, week out, but also a massive upside that he could potentially get an assist, get the bonus points, get a clean sheet, and absolutely haul in any given game week, basically. The next player we are taking a look at is Ruben Dias for Manchester City, coming in at 6 million. He got 2 attacking returns last season, and it was 1 goal, 1 assist. With expected goal return of 0.06, we're definitely not looking towards the attacking return for Ruben Dias. He came in with 140 or thereabout points or FPL points last season. Obviously, Man City don't have the best of fixtures to start with, but they are a team that against any side can keep a clean sheet. They have the best expected goals against of 0.93, the only team below 1 expected goals against for the whole of last season, picking up 19 clean sheets and 12 bonus points. If you want a player who's probably going to get you 6 points week in, week out, I think Ruben Dias is your guy. Pep also kind of showed us last season that Ruben Dias was a Manchester City player who he just would not drop, especially through the kind of thick fixtures. Apart from obviously once they'd won the league and they were focusing on the Champions League, that's when he got rotated. But for the majority of the season, when Ruben Dias was in that Manchester City side, he was playing week in, week out for the best defense basically in the league. And for 6 million, I still think he offers really, really good value. I think last season when he was priced at 6 million, everyone was still kind of bringing him into their sides. So I think to start with him, and one thing I have learned from last season is that you should be picking the teams that are actually going to get the clean sheets. I know that sounds very obvious, but what I was doing is I was picking the teams, say like, the likes of Newcastle, even Palace at points last season, that aren't as likely to get clean sheets but had the better fixtures. They would still end up conceding in the easier fixtures, whereas, Manchester City in the harder fixtures will end up going and getting clean sheets. So that's kind of my thinking behind Ruben Dias, and I think he's a good option going into this season. Now, the next player we are looking at is Luke Shaw from Manchester United. Obviously, you can see here, Manchester United have a nice, tidy start to this season, playing against Leeds at home, Southampton, then Wolves, then Newcastle. I think a lot of people are going to be going with Shaw or even his teammate Wan-Bissaka. I've seen some discussion around Wan-Bissaka. The potential of picking Wan-Bissaka over Shaw as they're both 5.5 million. Wan-Bissaka definitely would be the more deferential of the two. However, the way that Luke Shaw was kind of getting forward and picking up bonus points last season was, just absolutely cracking. He picked up 6 attacking returns, and mine Luke Shaw didn't actually even end up playing the whole season. He obviously had injury kind of moments throughout the season, didn't really start the season as well as he probably would have liked to, but towards the back end of the season, even now, or even as we've seen in the Euros, he's absolutely smashing it. Manchester United picking up 13 clean sheets last season with expected goals against of 1.34. Their clean sheets was kind of just above average, and their expected goals against was just above average as well. So the Manchester United defence looking all right, but with the way Luke Shaw kind of gets the bonus points, coming in at 5.5 million, sort of similar to Luka Dean, I think he's a very, very good option at this kind of price bracket. And so I think Shaw could be a really good option ahead of this season. So the next player we are looking at is Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's going to be a lot of hype around this guy ahead of this season. Obviously had a really good kind of back end towards the back end of last season even. Obviously with Virgil probably coming back with Konate, newly signed for Liverpool, all of a sudden Liverpool's defence is looking really, really rock solid. And that's what we kind of need from Liverpool last season. They obviously weren't keeping too many clean sheets. They picked up 12 clean sheets, which was just about average. They actually came in with a really, really good expected goals against of 1.19, which was the third best in the league for the whole of last season. So there is definitely something going right at Liverpool. They just kind of Liverpool's defence, they just let in those kind of sloppy goals now and again towards the end of the kind of like the last 10 minutes of a game, and that's when they're conceding the goals. He got 9 attacking returns last season with an expected goal return of 0.33, to the highest we've seen from any defender so far. Trent, just absolutely smashing. Obviously, Liverpool having a decent start to the season, playing against Norwich, Burnley, Chelsea and Leeds is a pretty decent start, especially those first 2 games. Now there is going to be a conversation about whether to go for Trent or whether to go to Robbo, or whether to go for Robbo or even Virgil van Dijk. I think for me, Robertson is kind of the best price out of the lot of them, kind of in between them, priced at 7 mil. That 0.5 mil does actually go a long way. Then I think the more points that Trent is going to get. The thing with Trent is week by week, he's probably going to pick up like a fair few points. He gets on the bonus points, he gets on the assist points, but so does Robbo. But come the end of the season, if you have Trent for the whole season, you have Robbo for the whole season, they're probably not going to be too different in points. So will it be worth paying that 0.5 more for Trent? I think with the expected goal return of kind of 0.33 here, it is really showing that Trent could be worth that more money. And if he ends up getting 20 or 30 points more than Robbo, he could easily be worth that 0.5 mil more. Just will he? I think you kind of have to decide whether you can really kind of do a lot more with that 0.5 mil in the bank that Robbo is going to give you, or even that 1 mil more that Virgil van Dijk is going to give you. We've seen in seasons gone by as well, Virgil has very much stayed on par with Trent and Robbo. Kind of Trent and Robbo will get more points week in, week out, but then Virgil will go and bag a couple of goals and he'll just end up hauling and absolutely send you flying up the leaderboards in that week, and then catch up with Trent and Robbo's overall scores. So either way, I think that all 3 of the Liverpool boys look like cracking options going kind of into this season. It's just which one do you pick? You're just going to have to, I guess, go with your gut and see what you can kind of do with your team if you can fit Trent in at 7.5 million. Now, the final player we are looking at is Antoine Rudiger from Chelsea, coming in at 5.5 million, not 7.5 million. Unfortunately, I don't think I would be going for him at 7.5 million, but at 5.5 million, he's definitely worth a shout. So Antoine Rudiger coming at 5.5 million, attacking returns of 1, expected goal return 0.08. So we're definitely not expecting a goal from him. However, Chelsea keeping 18 clean sheets last season, expected goals against of 1.12. And actually, when Tuchel took over, they had the best expected goals against of any team in the Premier League, even better than Manchester City's. It's just obviously they didn't have the best stat for the whole of the season. When Tuchel took over, they had the best defensive stats. Obviously playing against Norwich, Arsenal, Liverpool and Aston Villa. So not the best start of the season. Chelsea's fixtures don't look particularly great. But as I mentioned with Diaz, you know, Rudiger and Chelsea, they're going to be the ones that are going to keep the clean sheets that kind of people aren't expecting. And Rudiger does actually pick up the bonus points. I think I've gone for him out of the other Chelsea boys, as he's 0.5 more less than Chilwell and Azpilicueta. I do think he starts week in, week out, because the stats when he plays compared to when he doesn't play is absolutely massive difference between the two for Chelsea defensively. I think that Reece James is still quite a bit of a rotation risk. The same with Christian and the same with Thiago Silva. I think for me, Rudiger is the one to go for out of that Chelsea defence. Now, this has been a quick little look at premium defenders. Obviously, there may be a few that I've missed out on. I think notably so, the one that kind of comes to my mind is Creswell. Now, with Creswell, him now coming in at 5.5 million. Obviously, he was the highest scoring FPL defender last season. Or it might have been Dallas in the end, actually. But he was one of the highest scoring FPL defenders last season at 5.5 million. I just think with the way that Luke Shaw's priced, the way that Digne's priced, you know, I think they're much better priced, or much better, more worth the value than Creswell. However, you know, Creswell playing for West Ham, they do have decent fixtures, so it's definitely, it wouldn't be a bad shout going for Creswell is what I'm going to say. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.